My dear students, I welcome you back to EasEnglish. As usual, this is teacher Rodrigo Lasso presenting you one more lesson. This time it is lesson 69 in level 1 of Curso Debutante 1. The title of the lesson is I pick up. I pick up. Pero estos dos sonidos, el sonido final k y el sonido a, se unen para que esto se diga I pick up. I pick up. I pick up. You see, here is a boy and he is in his room. This is his room. And his room is a mess. His room is a mess. His room is a mess. A mess is the same as a disorder. Disorder. So I can say that his room is a disorder. Look, we can see his cap is on the bed head. His shoes, look, on a shelf. His teddy bear on a shelf. Look, this ball is in his chest drawer. Now, his book on the floor. Here is another shoe. His sweater, this looks like a sweater or the blanket. His bed is unmade. And here is a car on the bed. So we can see that his room is a mess. His room is a disorder. It is necessary for the boy to pick up his room and make it tidy, make it clean, make it orderly. So this is what the lesson is about. This boy is going to pick up his room. Look, here is the boy's mother, and she knows that his room is a mess, is a disorder, and she is not happy about that. She is asking him to go in the room and pick it up and tidy it up and clean his room. In the lesson, we are going to see the boy is picking his room up. Here we go. El boy de esta lección narra cada una de las cosas que él hace. Y yo también voy a describir cada una de las cosas que él hace. Usted las leerá, también hablará de cada una de ellas y puede notar que yo he resaltado en cada página cada una de las pertenencias que el boy picks up. Let's get started. I pick up my ball. Here is the boy's ball. He is picking his ball up. He picks up his ball. He picks up his ball. He picks up his ball. He's picking up his ball. Look, this is what he is doing in this picture. I pick up my book. Here is his book. I pick up my book. The boy is picking up his book. The boy picks up his book. He picks up his book. He picks up his book. He is picking up his book in this picture. Shoes. Here is a shoe. He is holding another shoe in his hand. I pick up my shoes. I pick up my shoes. The boy is picking up his shoes. In this picture, we can see he is picking up his shoe. He picks up his shoes. He picks up his shoes. He picks up his shoes. Here is his hat or cap. He is picking up his hat. And he says, I pick up my hat. I pick up my hat. The boy picks up his hat. He picks up his hat. He picks up his hat. His teddy bear. I pick up my teddy bear. I pick up my teddy bear. Here in this picture, the boy is picking up his teddy bear. He picks up his teddy bear. He picks up his teddy bear. He is picking up his teddy bear. His cars. We can see he has two cars. 1, 2. And he says, I pick up my cars. I pick up my cars. He is picking up his cars. The boy picks up his cars. He picks up his cars. He picks up his cars. Here is his blanket. His blanket. And he says, I pick up my blanket. I pick up my blanket. The boy picks up his blanket. He picks up his blanket. He picks up his blanket. In this picture, we can see he is picking up his blanket. And look, his room now is not a mess. His room is not a disorder now. His room is all picked up. Look, he says, my room is all picked up. And I can say, his room is all picked up. His room is now clean. His room is orderly. His room is neat. His room is not a disorder. And his mother is happy about him. She is hugging him because she is happy. She is happy that the boy has picked up his room. You see? Now his room is not a mess. Look, it is not a mess. His room is now orderly. Look, his room is now orderly. Orderly is the same as tidy or clean. His room is tidy. His room is clean. And in this picture, we can see the boy's mother is now happy because the boy picked up his room. Esta es la acción total que él realizó. He picked up his room. Aquí está en pasado. Con estas letras ED al final indica que está en pasado. The boy picked up his room. Y esta palabra indica la razón por la cual the boy's mother is now happy. The boy's mother is now happy Because, la razón es, he picked up his room. Pick up, la acción que ha realizado el niño, es lo mismo que tidy up. Por eso aquí yo he escrito, the boy picked up his room. The boy tidied up his room. Right? Now let's move on to the activities. Well, we are going to have 3 activities in this lesson, and this is activity 1. This activity is about a problem and the solution to that problem. What is the problem in the lesson? Here is a chart, and there are 3 columns in this chart, and there is a heading or a title in each column. First is the problem, next is the solution, and last is the result. Below the chart, there are 3 pictures. These pictures represent the problem, the solution, and the result. Ustedes y yo debemos aparear, debemos relacionar estos pictures con the problem, the solution, and the result. Usted hágalo y a medida que lo haga, describa en inglés por qué uno de esos pictures representa el problem, otro picture representa the solution y el otro representa the result. Yo voy a hacerlo y luego comparemos. Let's do it. Primeramente voy a describir cada uno de los pictures y después entonces procederé a trasladar cada una debajo del título correspondiente. In this picture we see that both the boy and his mother are happy. The mother is hugging her boy porque algo ha ocurrido. In the next picture, we can see that the room is a mess. The room is a disorder. Is this the problem, the solution, or the result? And here, we can see that the room is all picked up. The room is orderly. The room is tidy. The room is clean. The room is not a mess. Okay? Well, here you are. This picture represents the problem. This picture represents the solution. And this picture represents the result. Ahora voy a describir cada una de estas situaciones o voy a describir la historia en general. Ahora, el problem ya es pasado. The solution también es pasada. The result can be past or can be present. So, I can say that this boy's room was a mess. This boy's room was a disorder. This boy's room was untidy. This boy's room was unclean. There was a problem, and this was the problem. The boy picked up his room. The boy tidied up his room. The boy cleaned up his room. Now, the boy and his mother are happy. The mother is hugging her boy. because she is happy, because he picked up his room, because he cleaned up his room, because he's tidied up his room. Ahora voy a escribir esto. Usted también puede escribirlo ya. Hagámoslo. Here is the writing. There was a problem. The boys' room was a mess. Eso pudo haberse dicho, the boys' room was a disorder. O también, the boys' room was untidy. Untidy. The boys' room was unclean. The boys' room was unclean. Or the boys' room was disorderly. Disorderly. The boys' room was a mess. The boys' room was untidy. The boys' room was a disorder. The boys' room was disorderly. His mother was mad. His mother was angry. The boy picked up his room. Or I could have said, the boy tidied up his room. Or the boy cleaned his room. The boy tidied up his room. The boy cleaned up his room, or the boy cleaned his room. Now his room is all picked up. Or I could have said, now his room is tidy. Or now his room is clean. Or now his room is orderly. You see? His mother is happy because the boy picked up his room. His mother is now happy because the boy tidied up his room. His mother is now happy because her boy cleaned up his room. This is it. Now let's turn to the next activity. This is activity 2. You see there are 12 pictures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 pictures. And there are 3 letters in this box. Letters B, C, and H. You and I are going to name the objects in these pictures. And after naming them, we are going to say which letter these objects' names begin in or begin with. These letters represent the initial letter or the initial sounds of the names to these pictures. So, on this line, on one of the lines below the pictures, I am going to write the initial letter to the name of each object in the picture. Usted también hágalo. Usted nombre cada objeto e identifique su initial letter y luego escribirá los enunciados para cada palabra, all right? O para cada grupo de palabras. Let's do it. A ball. Ball. This is a ball. Cat. A cat. This is a cat. Bed. A bed. This is a bed. Coat. A coat. This is a coat. Bell. A bell. This is a bell. House. A house. This is a house. Balloon. A balloon. This is a balloon. Hose. A hose. This is a hose. Cow. A cow. This is a cow. Boat. A boat. This is a boat. Hat. A hat. This is a hat. Heart. A heart. This is a heart. Now, I am writing the letters, and after that, I'm writing the words and the sentences. Here are the letters. Ball begins in B. Cat begins in C. Bed begins in B. Coat begins in C. Bell begins in B. House begins in H. Balloon begins in B. Hose begins in H. Cow begins in C. Boat begins in B. Hat begins in H. And heart begins in H. Now I'm going to write the sentences. Here, ball, bed, bell, balloon, and boat begin in B. Cat, coat, and cow begin in C. House, hose, hat, and heart begin in H. Got it? Let's go on to the next activity. This is activity 3, a very easy, simple activity. You see some pictures taken from the lesson and some sentences taken from the lessons too. In this box, there are some words, and you and I are going to use these words to complete the sentences. Let's do it. Here are the sentences. Let's read them, please. I pick up my ball. I pick up my book. I pick up my shoes. I pick up my teddy bear. My room is all picked up. Well, dear students, that's all for now. It's been nice to talk to you, and hopefully I will be talking to you again in the next lesson. Goodbye.